What does it actually even cost to buy a home? I think there's so much misinformation out there, and honestly, just a lack of information on what it takes to buy a home, and it's probably more accessible than you think. Okay, so per usual, I'm going to be referencing my Home Buying 101 workbook. And on page 6, I have a rundown of some of the common upfront costs that I'm going to reference for you. Okay, so
no matter what, you have to have earnest money.
Even if you're doing a VA loan or a USDA loan or a down payment assistance program where you don't have a down payment, you still have to put money on the line. There's no getting around it. Title actually keeps your money in escrow, so it's not that the seller has it and is going to run off with it, and you can get it back at the end if you're doing a 0% down, but regardless, you always have to put earnest money no matter what. And earnest money is typically going to be 1 to 3%. In my market, it's typically 1%. It's negotiable. It can be higher on luxury properties and things like that. But if you're a first-time home buyer, you're probably not in the luxury department. Maybe, I don't know you and your situation, but think 1%. So 1% of $500,000 is going to be $5,000. Okay, the next thing is going to be your option money. Option money is going to be defined as a nominal fee that gives you the right to terminate the contract for any reason during your option period. So it's usually in my market somewhere between $150 to $250, depending on the home, depending on, sometimes the seller is looking for, $200. Usually it's something like 25 bucks a day. You might do $200 for a 10-day period, $150 for a 7-day period. It depends on the home and the situation. But it's a nominal fee. It's not going to be outrageous. And again,
it's what gives you the option to back out during the option period for any reason under the sun at all.
Okay, so during that option period, you're going to want to get an inspection done. Go ahead and budget $500. It's probably not going to cost you $500 to get a general inspection done, but in the event that it does, you're good to go. If you have any special inspections, maybe you're buying a home with stucco. Right now in my market, a stucco inspection is running about $800-ish. So in that case, it's obviously going to cost you more than that $500 to do that. So know that going into purchasing a home with stucco. And, again, that's kind of why I say budget $500, because if it's $350 for a general inspection and your inspector says, I think you got to have a roofer come out and take a look at this roof, maybe it costs you $150 to have a roof inspection, or $100 for an HVAC inspection, that's your AC system, then that way you're not like, oh shoot, that's way more than I thought. Oh, and your appraisal. So appraisal is generally going to run you about $500. Sometimes you can put it on a credit card, sometimes you can't. It kind of depends on the lender and what loan package you've got going on. And then the next thing is going to be your closing costs. Typically somewhere around 2% of the home, and that includes two things: your closing costs as far as title and lending goes, and then typically your prepaids. Prepaids are generally going to be prepaid taxes, prepaid insurance, prepaid HOA. They set up these like escrow accounts for you where they put this money for the future. So it basically comes down to being around 2%. I just looked at some numbers for a client today, and his closing costs were going to be about 2.18% of his purchase price. So that's just a rule of thumb to go by, 2%. And there are also ways to have the seller pay for your closing costs. So that's a strategy, and the whole strategy is really enough of a topic for a whole separate video that I'll do one day. Okay, so to summarize and to give you an example of numbers, if you are buying a $350,000 house and you're going to put 5% down, is going to be about $25,700. Okay, your earnest money is $3,500. That's going to go towards your down payment. So save that. For your home inspection and appraisal, we're going to do $500 each. So that's another $1,000. For your option money, we're going to say $200. So throw in $200. For your closing costs, 2% of a $350,000 home would be $7,000. So add that. And then if your down payment is 5%, that's $17,500 minus your earnest money, because you've already paid a portion of your down payment up front with your earnest money. So that brings you to a grand total of $25,700. And so again, you could negotiate for the seller to pay your closing costs, and that would knock you down that $7,000, and that would bring you to $18,700. So the bulk of it is your down payment. And remember that you can buy a home for as little as
3% down.
And hopefully this takes away some of the question about what does it cost to buy a home? How do I know if I can do it? That's the money you have to have up front. One other thing to keep in mind is that you pay your mortgage, you pay your interest in arrears. So versus rent where you pay in the first of the month for the next month, it means you're paying rent in advance. You pay your mortgage backwards. So when you pay your mortgage, you're paying for the time that you lived there, not the time that you're going to live there. So typically after you close, you don't have a mortgage payment for about 60 days. So you put all this money up front and then you get to kind of take a breather because you pay some of this at closing. And then in 60 days, you get your first mortgage payment. So I hope this was easy for you, and I hope it demystified the process, like I said. And yeah, so go pass on this information, share it with somebody who you think will benefit from it, and then tell them that you love their shoes, because everybody loves compliments. So go give out some compliments today, some genuine ones that you really believe in, and hopefully it brightens not only their day, but also yours. And aside from that, just make sure you do the stuff to do, like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things. Check out my website. My name is Chelsea. I'm in Houston. I'd love to help you if I can, if you're here local. And if you're not, I might know somebody across the nation who can help you. I'm a part of several premier networks of realtors, and I'd love to hook you up with the best of the best. And I hope you have a fantastic home buying experience. Let me know if you got questions.
While you're looking up real estate, make sure to check out my website, chelsea-realtor.com. I have free workbooks for buyers, sellers, and even renters. My calculators are accurate, easy to understand, and super helpful. You can contact me by using the form on the contact page or clicking the messenger icon in the bottom right. I would love to help you.